So as you guys know, Dave Filoni is doing a Star Wars movie, and we didn't have any information until like later in the day, and I was already tired and didn't want to do another Star Wars video, but here I am doing another fucking Star Wars video. So, here we are. So, to the shock of no one, Lars Mikkelsen, let's get this right out the gate, Lars Mikkelsen is playing Grand Admiral Thrawn, the character he voiced way back in Rebels. So, that's kind of the big deal, is that, yes, Lars Mikkelsen, the guy we kind of figured if we got a live-action Thrawn would be the guy, but some people were calling for Benedict Cumberbatch, and I'm like, dude, Lars Mikkelsen is right there, and I imagine this is going to be like a more older Thrawn. Like, this is going to be a more older, more like a Thrawn that's been through some shit and also ready to kick some ass in a very articulate and artistic way. So I don't see the I don't see the problem here, guys. I really don't. Anyway, so that's been kind of the biggest news, that Lars Mikkelsen was officially confirmed. But the other major thing that was kind of announced was that Dave Filoni's movie, to the shock of no one, is going to be the culmination of both The Mandalorian and the Ahsoka show. So I imagine it's going to be like Heir to the Empire or something. Like, it's going to be like a version of the Heir to the Empire or something of that degree. So we do know, I do remember that they said there is going to be a season 4 of The Mandalorian, so I guess the 4th season will be the final season. Or they could have scrapped that and gone straight to a movie, who knows. Because it does feel like we're building up to, like, this is the, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about this when I get to my Mandalorian review. This has been feeling like a setup season. Like, this has really just been like a setup season for the most part. And if you guys know me, I really don't care much for seasons, for setup seasons. It feels more like the we're just gonna dick around. Like, that's what it feels like. Is that this is the dick around season, and yeah, not a fan of that. But yeah, hopefully the payoff will be good, and I'm curious to see what we do with Ahsoka, with the Ahsoka show. Even though, yes, I've already talked about my stuff on Ahsoka, the character, already, and feeling like I've already gone over this 100 times. We also got the names, by the way. I do want to talk about, like, the names for the two characters, that the two pseudo-Sith, as I call them, their names. We got the names Baylan Skoll and Hati. I think her name was Shin Hati. And you notice there's only 2 of them. So I think they are trying to be like Sith. So also, sadly, Ray Stevenson is not Jeruis Sabayoth. I know a lot of people are like, oh, is that gonna be a version of Jeruis? And I'm like, that's not gonna be Jeruis. They're not gonna go that deep into Heir to the Empire. They're not gonna go that far into Heir to the Empire. They're not gonna be that cool. And yeah, I was right. They weren't gonna be that cool. And use Jeruis Sabayoth. But I am, not to say, like, I'm not excited for a story that centers around that for this new character. It's actually, like, I'm kind of getting, I know I could be totally wrong, because this was a trailer and we didn't get any dialogue from either Shin or Baylan. I'm kind of getting a Bane and Zana feeling. Anyone else get that? I know it's an older guy and a young female apprentice, but I'm kind of, like, maybe that's the idea, is that they're very much, like, based off of Darth Bane and Darth Zana. And that's what I kind of feel like. It's supposed to be, like, something like that. And, like, again, we see that their lightsabers aren't fully red. They're kind of like an dark orangish, so maybe the bleeding isn't working for them, or they're just trying to be, like I said, pseudo-Sith. So I think they're going to be the main antagonists for Ahsoka, but Thrawn is going to be like the guy in the shadows, and then he's going to be the big payoff villain. That's what I'm thinking so far. I could be totally wrong, but yeah. But, like, hey, you know, props to Dave Filoni for Disney giving him this. I gotta be honest, like, it is cool that Filoni gets to end his story, both, like, several story arcs that he's been building for so many years, in a big culminating movie. which usually hasn't been a thing in a long time. Like, there used to be, like, big movies to finish story arcs, but we haven't seen those in a long time. Like, really, I think the last time was Serenity, for the Firefly fans. But, yeah, so it is pretty cool that that's gonna happen here. I'm very excited to see how all that plays out. But, yeah, I just wanted to do this quick video, kind of give my thoughts on it, and just kind of geek out that having Thrawn and Thrawn in here, and kind of talk about these two new Sith. Yeah, I know I didn't talk about it, but that, like, when they announced, like, oh, Dave Filoni's doing a movie in between, I was like, oh, could it be that? And then it's like, yeah, it's official, it's that. And I was like, I'll do a video later, and now it's later. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of not only Thrawn being played by his voice actor, but also, like, do you think he's going to be the big villain of Filoni's movie? And what do you think of these two, like I said, quote-unquote pseudo-Sith, these guys trying to be Sith Lords? And do you guys, anyone else getting, like, a Darth Bane vibe? Or is it just me? I'm kind of like, I really do hope we get books with these characters. I would really love to see a Balin, and these characters look pretty cool enough. I think they could carry, like, their own book trilogy. That's just me, though. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.